I'm Robert D, your favorite OG. Welcome to my channel where truth is told and lies are exposed. Let's get to it. So Travis Hunter. Congratulations, Travis. I give it to you. Doing the right thing. It's never wrong to do right. So you married your girl. From what I'm hearing, no prenup. But you know what? I'm going to take a different tack, man. I'm going to wish you and your new bride all the success in the world. Don't listen to all the haters that's going to come online. You know what I'm saying? Stay off that, right? Focus on you and your wife, your career as a football player. I wish you the best. I wish your marriage the best. I pray for your success, It's just that, man, we've seen this happen time and time again with these players, and so people are just drawing off a past experience. But I pray it don't happen with you. You know what I'm saying? Be the exception to the rule. Like I said, it's never wrong to do right, man. You married your girl, treat her right. Stay offline. Don't listen to the hate. There's gonna be a ton of that. I want to take a different tack. Congratulations. I wish you the best. Wish you success in your marriage. Yeah, but I do get the doubters. I understand that because as a 53-year-old man who's paid attention to sports and we've seen this play out so many times in the past, right? So there is an argument to be said for that. So congratulations, man. That's all I'm gonna say on that one, right? Moving on. Glorilla. I'm not gonna lie. Not my genre of music anymore. I don't pull away from stuff like that. To me, it's just an example of what's wrong with our culture these days. No, they ain't throwing no hate. That is what it is. I don't see nothing positive coming out of that music. It just increases the ratchetness of it. But, however, power to the sisterhood. Once again, y'all showing why y'all just a fine example of what not to look for from a woman, right? Because from my understanding, I guess for years Glorilla was getting dragged through the mud about her nose. It ain't never enough, right? So of course, what she go do? She go get a nose job. And then what happens now? The old sisterhood. Once again, she getting dragged through the mud for a nose job. Glorilla, just be yourself. God created you exactly how you supposed to look and be, right? So don't let these people out here define how you should look or how you should be, right? Because it ain't gonna never be enough, right? If you seeking the validation and approval, especially from y'all black women, because y'all tear each other down. Black women, y'all just down bad at this point, for real. You just not good people, and I know it's gonna rub, men the wrong way. They like to worship the ground you work on or walk on, and all that there. Them simps to me, man, right? I ain't never been that kind of guy. I don't care if you black, white, green, yellow, or orange, For real, man. I'm all about, are you a good person? Do you have character, But, man, I understand, man, these men out there, they feel like just because you a black woman that you got to just be protected and listened to. I'm not of that party at all. I'm going to call y'all out. You down bad right now. You just looking bad. You tear each other down. You tear your men down. You're tearing society down, right? Black women, get your stuff together. Get back to the Lord. Get back to the Lord. When I was coming up, man, all the black women I knew were God-fearing, were nice, were stood on business when it came to raising their kids. Man, we're beautiful. But y'all today, this ain't it. Y'all, this is not it, man. I don't know. Maybe it's feminism. Feminism has just set y'all loose and think you could just, y'all queens now, and you're not. I'm going to say it, you're not. I could pick out some black women that are fine examples to listen to. But y'all go online, you listen to the ratchetness, and you think that's going to yield positive results. It's not. So keep it up. You're doing fine. Moving on. Last but not least, I want to tell this story from last year during the general election. I'm sitting on my porch, chilling, right? Here come this little old lady. She canvassing the neighborhood. So she come up to the porch. I'm like, how you doing, man? What can I do for you? She like, oh, are you a registered voter? I said, yes, ma'am, I am. She said, well, have you decided who you going to vote for? I said, yes, ma'am, I am. I said, I'm Donald Trump all day. So, of course, she got offended, right? Because, you know, being a black man, we ain't supposed to go against the grain, right? So she like, well, you know Donald Trump is this and Donald. I said, hold on. Let me ask you something, miss. I said, how old are you, by the way? She was 72 years old, 72-year-old black woman. I said, okay, are you a Christian? She said, yes, I am. Okay. I said, do you love Jesus? She looked at me. I said, do you love Jesus? She said, yes, I do. I said, okay. I said, so do you think abortion is okay? She said, no, I don't. I said, do you think Jesus is okay with abortion? She said, no, I don't think he'd be okay with it. I say, so you're a Christian, you love the Lord, and you don't agree with abortion, but you out here trying to get votes for a party that's promoting abortion. Make that make sense to me, ma'am? Oh, but Donald Trump. But Donald Trump, what? This ain't got nothing to do with him. We talking about your faith, your belief system. You believe abortion is wrong. You say you love Jesus. You say Jesus ain't for abortion. Why are you trying to get votes for a party that's pushing abortion? Explain that to me. And I'm going to tell you something. I bring this story up. I should have told it last year. I held it under my hat maybe for a moment like this. But I tell this story because, you know what, having that conversation with this woman, I could tell that she wasn't expecting that at all. She walked away from our conversation having had something put on her mind and something to think about and chew on, because for a 72-year-old black woman who I know better, she absolutely know better. But because she was so indoctrinated by this party and believing that Donald Trump was the orange man bad, right, that she was laying aside all her Christian principles, all what she knew to be true and right, laying it aside out of pure hate and indoctrination from a party. So I'm just bringing that up because I'm gonna continue shedding light on this demonic party that's steady getting 90% of the black vote from the sisterhood, right? It's not, y'all, let's stop it, please. And I know if we don't raise our voices and start speaking out on against this, look at my buddy over there, you see him? He caught a groundhog the other day. I had to go over there and save his life. Anyway, yeah, but let's get back to that. And we as men, we need to start standing up and speaking out. And shout out to all my holy rollers out there. It's time that we start standing on business. We don't let the world define us. We don't let the world quiet us. We know what's true and right and what's real. And as a man, as a Christian man, I'm raising my voice and sounding alarm with what I see going on in our society. And I want others to join me. If you believe in the Lord and you stand on business, start speaking up and speaking out about what we know to be true and correct. You know what I'm saying? If they don't like it, they just don't like it, man. Tell them to go cry to their mama about it, right? All right, that's all I got for right now. That's it, and that's all. So everybody have a blessed and a wonderful day. And me and my buddy, we're going to continue our walk. The sun finally shining today, so you know we get it in. See you next time.